XPremium questions. What to know before buying, and is this the bike for you? And by this, I mean this, the new Lectric XPremium. People are confused. Should they go for an XPremium or for a Lectric XP 2.0, the 2.0 step through, or maybe even the Lectric XP Lite, which is my personal favorite? But let me tell you, it's kind of in a different class, so I'm not even going to compare it in this video. It's down to between 2.0 and this XPremium. And by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about still, I have a review video on this and the Lectric XP 2.0 and the 2.0 step through. I'll put links to those, all of those, down in the description so you can catch up. But let me start out talking specifically about this XPremium. The number one question asked, dual batteries, are they included? There's a lot of confusion about this, partially due to something I said in my video. I said the second battery would be optional after pre-order. Lectric has changed their mind, and for the better. They have decided to make the XPremium dual battery no matter what. No matter if it's pre-order or you order 6 months or whenever from now. You will always get 2 batteries on the XPremium, which is a big deal. The big deal though, if you order during the pre-order period, and I don't even know how long that is, I just know it's going on at the time that I put out this video, $17.99. You get a bike with a mid-drive and dual batteries. Amazing. So dual batteries always for the XPremium. Some have gotten pretty opinionated about that, so just want to clarify. Again, the XPremium is always a dual battery bike. Pre-order or not pre-order, dual battery. So there. Got that out of the way. I've mentioned it enough times. And this is related to the batteries. Do you have to charge them one at a time? Well, no, because the XPremium comes with 2 chargers. So you get to charge both batteries at the same time and they can be charged in or out of the bike. This next question, I've only been asked by one person, but it's so good I decided to include it. We've established this is a dual battery bike. Can you remove one or either of the batteries and have the bike still work? Yes, you can remove this second battery here. You have to keep that battery in for the bike to work, and I know because I tried it. I even powered it on, pulled this battery out with this one attached, and it turned off. Put this back in and it turns back on. I can remove this one though, and as long as that one is attached, it will work. So yes, it will work on one battery, but the one battery always has to be the flush mount main tube battery. I've seen people wonder about the hydraulic brakes. These are hydraulic disc brakes. Very nice. Nice smooth braking. They're wondering if they have a motor shutoff switch. And what that is if you're riding and you squeeze on the brake lever, even if power is engaged to the motor, will it cut it off? Well, I did mention this in my review, but yes. Right there is the wire for the motor shutoff switch. So these hydraulic brakes, and some e-bikes do come with hydraulic brakes without a motor shutoff. This one, hydraulic and a motor shutoff. So the brakes turn off power. What about during a shift? If you've ever ridden a mountain bike, especially if you're new, you'll be pedaling, maybe even standing on the pedals, going uphill, and if you shift, you get that hard clunk that's eating away at the rear gearing. And because this mid-drive puts out considerably more power than our human legs can, and it drives the chain ring just like our legs would, what would happen if you shift while it's under power? This bike has a shift interrupter. A shift will temporarily cut power just long enough for the shift to take place, and then it will automatically pick power back up. So no worry about shifting eating away at the gearing on this mid-drive bike. It has a shift interrupter. Okay, let's get back here for another big one. Almost as big as the dual battery question. Actually second to that, but mid-drive versus a hub drive with the cadence sensor. XP 2.0 versus XPremium. Which one has the most power? Well, I've ridden both. I've ridden both back to back. And I can tell you, if power is your thing, XP 2.0 is a more punchy bike. It has more torque, spec-wise even. It has more torque, and it's more instant torque than the XPremium, which is more of a finesse ride, hence the premium name. Which, as some people have pointed out, does mean that it's not necessarily the bike for everyone. If you want that free easy ride where you don't even have to pedal, even though this has a throttle, really it's a rider's bike. It's meant to be pedaled, and that's kind of my comparison. If you are a free rider, someone that doesn't want any resistance at all on the pedals, 2.0. If you're more of a cyclist, you want a bike experience, you like to pedal, the mid-drive, the X Premium. Now that relates also to seat height. You notice I've got both seats slammed down here, and I'm going to get to those specs in just a second because people have asked about those. But the seat slammed down on an X Premium, it's not much pressure. It's very little to engage the motor, but the more you pedal, the harder pressure you put on, the more that motor is really going to ramp up. So you can exert some effort if you want to go at fast speeds, versus the XP 2.0, which will go at fast speeds with as leisurely of a cadence as you want to give it. Again, that's not bad. That just makes this more of a rider's bike. But the reason I mentioned the seat height is because there is a thing called leg extension and proper leg extension on cycling. If you're someone that is 6 feet tall and you like riding with that seat slammed, which I see most XP 2.0 riders riding, they'll have wide saddles and they have them all the way down low because they like the easy access. I would caution you that you want to be careful with this because you do have to put a little pressure on the pedals. So if you have weak knees, even though it's not much pressure, it's still something to think about. If you're more of a cyclist, the X Premium is for you. If you want effortless top speed pedaling with whatever cadence you want to do or no cadence at all, then the XP 2.0 probably, in my opinion, would be the better of the two for you. But I will tell you that the XP 2.0, any hub-driven e-bike with a cadence sensor, can put on power sometimes when you don't expect it. That will never happen on the X Premium. So if you've ridden hub-drive e-bikes and you don't like that sensation, you're more of a cyclist, the X Premium is definitely going to appeal to you. Again, it would be better if you have seen both reviews, you understand how a mid-drive works, and how a hub drive motor works, because I go over it in detail in both videos. That's my message on that. Torque drive versus 2.0, they are very different riding bikes, so you need to pick the one that's best for you. Weight, that is something I've seen mentioned a lot. People say this is excessively heavy. It is 75 pounds. I have far heavier e-bikes, but it is 75 pounds versus the 64 of the 2.0. That's 11 pounds. If weight is an issue for you, if you have trouble moving something heavy, or say you have to fold this up and lift it into an area and you have to do so regularly, that is also something to factor in. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you other than it does weigh more, and yeah, that is noticeable. It's not noticeable when you are riding. This is a longer bike, a far longer bike. As a matter of fact, about 6-7 inches longer than the XP 2.0, which also, someone's asked me this even today. They ask if the 2.0 and the XP Lite are the same frame. No, the XP Lite is a smaller frame. So XP Lite, then 2.0, 2.0 step through, and then this. This is by far the longest of the Lectric bikes. So you don't notice the weight when you're riding it, but if you do have to move it, it is heavier. So that's all I can say there, 11 pounds heavier. And even the 2.0, that's heavy when you try to move it. So 64 versus 75, if that's a decision you need to make. Step over height. I'm going to get in the way with my mic cable here, but this is the step over of the X Premium and these step through designs. You don't have to lift your leg as high as you do on the XP 2.0. Let me just run through some numbers here. The step over on the Lite, I'll include the XP Lite in this, 22 inches. So 22 inches off the ground. This X Premium, 20 inches. XP 2.0, 25. XP 2.0 step through, 19, so even lower than the X Premium by an inch. But 20 inches is how far I'm having to lift my leg here to step over this bike. Seat height at the lowest position. The X Premium, 30.5 inches, and I have it at its lowest position right now. So that is 30.5 inches. Step over 20, seat height at its lowest, 30.5. XP 2.0, 31 inches, 2.0 step through, 30.5. So the step through XP 2.0 and the X Premium are both 30.5, half an inch shorter than the XP 2.0. Fork travel, and I almost chuckle every time I say this because I'm a mountain biker. So I'm talking about 82 millimeters of travel here, which is so oddly specific. But people are asking, is this X Premium with its 82 millimeters of travel noticeably better than the 40 millimeters of travel on the 2.0? To me, yes, but I tend to push things a little harder. If you are riding on smooth city streets, I don't think you're going to notice much difference. If they're heavily potholed city streets, you will probably find that the X Premium does ride better. On anything significantly bumpy, yeah, the more travel is gonna, I mean, it's double the travel. So it is going to be better, and it is noticeable. Although again, if you are on a cul-de-sac, those nice, smooth, very nice neighborhood, and you're riding around, there's not a lot of bumps, no, you're probably not gonna notice any difference because you have to use the travel before it's gonna matter. So if you're not fully compressing 40 millimeters, an extra 22 isn't gonna do you any better, but most of us live in cities that have some pretty significant potholes or campgrounds that have dirt roads and so on. So in that case, yes, this is better. I tell you, I have the best viewers on YouTube, very eagle-eyed. People have noticed these two chips here and asked if these are just because this battery comes in and out and if it's always going to chip. Well, let me just tell you, FedEx delivered this with the bottom stand hanging out of the bike and the box sideways. They had dislodged the battery. It had been rattled so much, and that chipped during shipping. This battery does not come in contact, especially right there, with this lip because it drops straight down in. So you're not going to have issues putting your battery in or taking it out and chipping up your frame. This is from shipping. Another very eagle-eyed observation, this fold stand. This center stand, it doesn't fold. It stays in place. I wish it would fold. That'd be really nice. But viewers have pointed out that this sits kind of low to the ground. I mean, it's not far up. I have been told by Lectric that this is an early production run. This is a kind of a test production run bike. That has been modified and raised per Lectric. Plus, I'm not even sure that it's going to be the same shape because this one is actually deformed due to shipping damage. That shipping damage I was talking about earlier, that's what was hanging out. And it's all, the other side is completely chipped up on the bottom and it's twisted, it's completely deformed. So I don't even know how much of this shape makes it onto the production bikes because it's so deformed. So don't worry about the height there because I've been told that has changed. And the final thing that I think is going to help you make a decision between these two bikes, compactness while folded. Here you can see they're completely folded. And if you've ever dealt with a folding e-bike, you know that the front wheel tends to want to flop over. But width-wise, oddly enough, this is about a ½ an inch more compact because that front wheel tends to stay right alongside. I don't know why that is. It's just a byproduct of the dual battery weight keeping it straighter. But this one is more compact by about a ½ an inch width-wise than the XP 2.0 just because, as I mentioned, kind of floppy here when folded. However, depth-wise or length-wise when folded, that is about this much longer. So you need to factor that in. If you have more depth than you do width, that's where the XPremium is bigger, but width-wise, it's not really any bigger than the XP 2.0. You know, see if I can get you an overhead shot. I hope that helps out. And let me tell you, this might not look like they take up less room when folded, but they actually do. This helps. I have consistently kept all three of the ones that I had going into this XPremium in the bike barn in a corner, and they take up less room, 3 of them folded side by side, than one mountain bike lengthwise. So there you go. I hope all these questions helped out if you're considering buying either an XPremium or Lectric 2.0 or really any e-bike. Feel free to ask me any other questions that you have. And again, a great way to support this channel is using the links down in the description, especially if you plan on buying an XPremium or an XP 2.0. Thanks for watching and have a great day.